if you're thinking about hauling livestock in California with that new Class 1 pickup that's got the 12,000 pound towing capacity, you know the names of them, you might want to reconsider, because it's gotten a lot trickier in the last day. And it's because of new regulations that have been passed by the state. So, you may want to consider moving or upgrading. Stay tuned. So welcome back to my show, y'all. And if you are a farmer or a rancher watching this, pay close attention, because this is going to affect what class of vehicle you buy, and it's also going to affect how you transport your goods, especially if you live in California. That's right, I'm singling out this state. Not only did they get a previous episode on banning the check engine light, but now they're banning the transportation of livestock without a CDL. So if you're thinking about that Toyota Tundra, Ford F-150, or Dodge Ram, or Nissan Titan XD to transport livestock or horses, and it doesn't matter what kind of trailer you're getting for it, unless that trailer is rated for less than 10,000 pounds, you are going to be subject to CDL requirements now. That means now you have to have an electronic babysitter in your truck called an electronic logging device, or an ELD. Now for us over-the-road truckers like me, the ELD's been a game changer, because it does enforce compliance with the rules, and it makes my day a lot easier. But for you livestock haulers, it's going to make your day harder. Simply put, because now you're going to have a device on your truck that's enforcing your speed limit, tracking how many hours you drove, and making sure that you're pulling off by letting you know that you're within an hour of violating federal hours of service rules. And there is no exception under California law, unlike some of the other states that I'll mention later in the episode. So, what does this mean if you are a farmer or a rancher? What this means is that all your employees who haul livestock are now subject to having a Class A license. The same license I have to have for driving a semi. That also means you may want to consider bigger and better equipment, because they're going to probably start whining once these regulations take effect. And they're expected to take effect in a matter of hours or days. Because obviously a pickup truck shouldn't even fall under the category of CDL required, unless you're transporting cars or something like that. I get it if you got something like an F-350 or a Silverado HD or a Ram 3500. Those classes of vehicles might require CDL anyway, just because of their towing capacities and their ratings, which in Dodge's case, they're stating all the way up to 30,000 pounds, which is nearly what I can haul legally with this Class A Freightliner Cascadia. But for those of y'all who are considering a 150 or a Silverado 8 light duty, or a Ram, or a Toyota Tundra, or a Nissan Titan XD, here's where my problem lies. Those 5 pickups now have stated towing capacities around 10,000 pounds. And what this means is that an ill-informed officer might actually subject you to ELD or CDL requirements in California if he sees that you're hauling a livestock or cattle trailer, because he's not going to know the difference between recreational and commercial hauling. That's right. You now have to cover your behind, and maybe even consider having a sleeper berth on your trailer or in the back of your pickup. Now, some pickup manufacturers have already addressed this by offering more double cab configurations or more configurations with back seats and sleeper options. Other pickup manufacturers have yet to address this. So it's going to vary by pickup model. And if you're hauling something that's lighter than a cattle trailer, that ill-informed officer might still question you on what you're hauling in the back. If he sees it's recreational gear, he might let you off a little easier. If he sees you're actually hauling an RV, he might let you off a little easier there. But make no mistake about this. If you're hauling horses, livestock, cattle, or other live beings, or even if you have a trailer that's capable of doing that, you're now subject to CDL requirements in California. Now, what are the CDL requirements for doing this? Well, in addition to having that Class A license, you will also need to have a medical card. You will need to have DOT permits issued by Caltrans and by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. You'll need to have a business plan, and you will need to have your drivers go through special training. The same training I had to go through in order to get a license to drive a semi. What this also means is that the CDL driver shortage is now going to be exponentially worse, because you will have cattle haulers fighting for the job pool alongside these mega carriers like Swift, Werner, CRST, etc. They're basically going to be fighting for the scraps along with you. And worse yet, you're going to perhaps even need to get a fleet of vehicles. What some farmers and ranchers have already done, others might have to do this, and still other livestock operations will have to buy additional trucks in order to fill the demand. And these trucks will probably be F-250s, F-350s, and better. And I'm using Ford as the example. So, if you're thinking about hauling livestock in California, note that now, basically effective immediately, you have to have a CDL, an electronic logging device, and you're now subject to hours of service regulations. But, oh, wait, there's a catch. What if you have a Ram? Fiat Chrysler, the company that makes the Ram pickup trucks, says you're not supposed to attach a device to the ECM. That, my friend, can get you into a world of trouble. Because that means things are going to be even worse for you. And you might want to consider switching brands. That's going to be a pain, especially if you're already used to driving a certain platform of pickup truck. For the rest of us who live out of state, also, these regulations might be enforced on you and might not, because it is a California-specific state law. And again, it's going to be hard for that enforcing officer to tell who's who even with the license plates, permits, etc. So, cover your behind if you were going to do this. Either A, avoid California entirely. B, make sure you got the biggest and baddest pickup for your requirements if you're going to be doing this. Or C, consider another line of work. Because there's no point in trying to compete with a state that's going to overregulate you and put you into a world of trouble. There's also the option of D, moving your business out of state. And that's what a lot of people are resorting to now. There's been a huge population increase in Texas in particular, but also in other states because of the fact that California is over-regulating their people. So, if you're hauling livestock, stay out of California. And if you must haul livestock within the state, get your Class A license, get your permits, and get yourself a nice new pickup truck along with. That's what I would recommend if I were in your situation. I'm Zach Bell. This is Truckin It. And until next time, let's stay out of California. And let's make your best trip your next trip. Bye for now.